Hello and welcome to Primal Nightmare, your source for horror movie reviews. I'm joined today by Jesse Robertson, one of our senior reviewers.
Hey, what's up?
Today we're going to be reviewing Cabin in the Woods. This came out just recently, earlier this year, and we had to talk about it. Yeah. Cabin in the Woods is about these 5 teenagers who go on a trip to a cabin in the woods, and when they get there, let's stop over there because anything after that is just spoiling the movie. Well, the movie is directed by Drew Goddard, and he is one of my favorite directors. I mean, he directed a few episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. The film was written also by Joss Whedon, who did The Avengers earlier this year, and if you can guess, he is quite witty on his dialogue. Also, cinematography-wise, this is a great movie. It's really beautiful looking. Well, this movie does something to the horror genre that I love, is that it pokes fun at it.
Yeah, there's just different elements in a horror story that you are able to notice when you watch a horror movie. This basically picks the horror genre to the bone and just exposes all of these elements, but does it in a very sly, shrewd, very smart kind of way. It makes the film that much more entertaining because it keeps things very funny but slightly dark as well.
Yeah, it's extremely dark. Actually, this movie reminds me of Edgar Wright's movies, Shaun of the Dead, actually. Spoofing the genre. Though it's not quite a horror. I mean, yeah, we'll get to that later. It's not quite a horror, but I loved it.
Yeah, there's just something different about this movie in particular. You can't really put it in a box and call it any kind of genre, especially a horror, but it is horrific. It is a horror movie by the traditional definition of the name, but not the horror movie that you've come to expect today that's run of the mill and like every other thing that you see out there today. This is a very fresh movie, especially for me who kind of is a bit cynical about the horror genre, especially how it's come to be in the last couple of years. Very predictable. This is very, very cool, very new.
Get into like the ending of this movie. It's a mindfuck. Yeah, it fucks with you. Like, not on the level of Christopher Nolan, but it really like it'll be like, whoa, that was unexpected. I totally did not expect that. And it reaches this point in the movie where you think it doesn't get any more awesome than it does, and that's what just makes Cabin in the Woods just one of my favorite movies of all time, actually.
It's like there's just a whole nother element to the story. It follows the same story. It's very coherent and cohesive. But what happens at the end is like just a slap in the face by a cold fish. It's just, you didn't see it coming, not from a mile away.
Actually, that's what this movie plays as. It's on the fear of the unexpected, and whatever thoughts you have about going into this movie, you think you're going to expect just 5 kids who get killed in a cabin in the woods. By the end of this movie, you're going to come out with this like, holy shit. Nah, I did not see that coming. If you saw that coming, you're a fucking liar. Fuck you.
And of course, like this is one of those movies where you walk out of the cinema, I'm assuming and I'm hoping that you see this in cinema. Well, if you're not, that's too bad. Do the next best thing, home cinema, Blu-ray, all that kind of shit. You just have that feeling of when you're driving home or when you put it off even, you just stewing in it. It's still on your mind and like you just can't get over it. That's what I experience and that's what I love about it.
Speaking of stewing and stuff, there's a guy in this movie, Topher Brink, who plays a stoner, and yeah, it's the first time it makes weed look actually, plausible to the plot. Weed is good in this movie. I don't know how Joss Whedon did it, but yeah, he made weed look like a plot point. That was brilliant.
Yeah, this guy does a really fantastic job.
I don't have anything bad to say about this movie at all. I mean, there's something I have to say. It's not really bad, but don't expect this to be a horror movie because it's not. It's not a comedy either. I say it's more of a statement if that was a genre.
It's like the punk of all horror movies.
It's the punk of horror movies. Well, in conclusion, Cabin in the Woods is one of the best movies of 2012. It's solidly entertaining, has a lot of unexpected cool twists, has great directing and writing. I'm going to give it the 666 rating, 6 out of 6.
I concur with everything Sam has just said before, but also the acting, the performances in this movie really give it a lot more.
Yes.
Very solid.
Actually, Chris Hemsworth is in this movie also. He's Thor. He was awesome, actually, also.
He did a really good job.
Scare Meter as well. What do you think?
Scare Meter, for me, it's on Shivers, 666.
Shivers. Well, yeah, like I said, it's not really a horror movie, but there is a few creepy moments. Won't give it away. I can't really talk about this movie at all. I can't explain any of my favorite scenes because that'll just be giving away the movie. Thanks for listening to our review, and if you would like us to do a movie at your request, please leave it in the comment box below, and please subscribe as always.
And comment. Thank you.
You out of my head.